Yeah, I'll take that, yeah. So I think over the years we have always been transparent in our dealings, and I think if you've attended our annual general meetings, we've always shown that we have a big data book. We've got many suppliers who have had the goodwill to support us even when we don't have funds. And unfortunately, they can't support us forever. Now, the little money that we have at the moment, because our budgets are in the region of 50 to 300 million for us to have, a very a good year, so to speak, in terms of making sure we prepare all our teams and we support them. But at the moment, we are sitting on less than half of that budget from the sponsors that we have. And there is a big chunk of that was meant to come from the government. So 300 million we can raise, and we raised from our sponsors about 100. There's about 200, specifically actually 194. That was what we shared with the government and we put in during the budgeting process. So by July, our budgets had been approved, and as an amount of 94 million had actually been passed in a resolution to be given to us. And up to now, we haven't received it. So, we keep promising our suppliers that the money is coming, we will pay. But even if you are a supplier, you can't do it forever. So I think this was one of the cases where the supplier has reached the end of the road, has gone to court, has got an order, and so he's legally able to execute the order to auction us if we can't pay. And that, unfortunately, at the moment, we just don't have any funds in our accounts to pay them.
It's a catch-22 situation. You can say, and people can say, the federations are not running properly, but then if you're waiting for money and you're digging into your coffers, waiting from the government.
Yeah.
But the government is also saying that some of these federations are not aligned to the Sports Act, that they're not compliant, that's why money is not being released. So what's the situation, first of all, with the union? Is the union aligned to the Sports Act? Is it compliant? And then how frustrating, you've got football, table tennis, there's a number of federations who want to first of all to meet up with the sports committee and then to try and iron this out. What's your comments on this?
So first of all, with regards to whether we are compliant with the Sports Act, we are, because obviously some of the stipulations of the Sports Act, none of the federations could comply immediately. But you have to start the process. When you start the process, you then get a letter from the registrar confirming that you have begun the process and therefore you are aligned to the Sports Act. So some of the requirements of the Sports Act will take a while for all federations to get to. So, but in terms of if you went to check with the government whether KRU is compliant, it is, and we do have a letter we can share with you if you want that. As to what we are doing as federations, we have had several engagements. We have been trained, and after the trainings, we have actually used the processes that are stipulated in the Constitution to make sure we get our approvals done. And then, the Sports Fund has actually sat and approved for the funding. So we don't really get any feedback as to why the cash is not being released. Nobody can tell us. And what we have found is when you talk to the Sports Fund administration, when you speak to the CS's office, everybody points a finger to the final administrator, who is the PS in the ministry. So we are all now asking why Ambassador Kabere is not releasing funds to the different federations. And on Tuesday we have a date with Parliament, with the Department of Culture. So we are going to again make this an appeal to them, so that we ask them if maybe there's something we don't know about the Sports Fund and how it's supposed to be run, because we believe the federations, they have complied and they have applied according to the process, and for some federations the money is coming and for others it's just not coming. So
you say that you've gone according to procedure and all that, because I've asked twice Amina Mohammed and also Karimi Kabere. They say there's no problem, there is money in the sports fund.
Yes.
There's more than enough money for the national teams. So where do you think the problem lies? Because if they're saying that there's money there, and they're saying that those not receiving have not gone according to procedure, you guys are saying that you're going according to procedure. Where does the buck stop?
So we can share with you minutes of a sports fund meeting that has approved the funding. I don't think the funding would be approved if we've not followed procedure. And I'm speaking specific funding to Kenya Rugby Union and to other sports. So it's a whole list. This union so much, this federation so much. So it's been approved. So it's not about process. So is it, if the government doesn't have money, maybe they don't have money, but that's not what we're being told. Like you say, you've been told the money is actually there. We are also aware the money is actually there. So to be honest, we don't know where the hitch is. So, unfortunately, the Olympic qualifier next week can't wait. Andrew has to take a team down to perform. So we have to continue putting a team out there, but they're operating under very challenging conditions. Very, very challenging conditions. I can tell you, technical director here, before he ever earned his first salary, he's had to bail out some players because they were out on the streets because they hadn't paid their rent. That's the kind of situation we're in. So yesterday was the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of things that are not coming out to the media, but which is actually how we're operating. Yeah. So we really need that fund to be unlocked. Otherwise, we're not giving our teams the best opportunity to make it to win these games.
Because they've got massive experience, and Collins is there doing his bit, doing what he can, and he should be back for Dubai. Third point, how they've changed the format. Yeah, I mean that's out of our control. We can only, as I say, we'll look after what we can control, and that's just our performance on the pitch. So, we play our first game. I think it's against Côte d'Ivoire. And then from there, we get put in certain pools. And hey, at the end of the day, to win the tournament, you've got to beat everyone, whether it's early on or later in the tournament. Meet them when you meet them. So we just have to, as I say, keep preparing well, go down there with some good preparation and some good confidence, and do what the boys do best. All good?
How do you know your opponents? Because people have teams and Kenya Sevens to qualify. That is the next after South Africa qualify.
Yep.
Kenyans team to qualify. But how well do you know your opponents? Considering the other time we actually qualified by a whisker last minute. How well do you know your opponents?
I mean, we do our preparation, and you've got to sort of find out a little bit about your opposition without getting too carried away. You've got to look at yourself first and foremost, but then get to know a little bit. So I'm lucky with the technical group that I've got here. They know a fair bit about their opponents. They've played them a bit previously, and with our senior players. So really, it's from my point of view, it's picking the brains of Kevin and these boys that have played similar opposition previously, know some of their individuals, and then we can understand their threats